Hey boys and girls, it's Monday, ready for math. Hope you had a great weekend, got your new work packets. So we're gonna start off with time today. Pull out your time. Now last time we said that whenever a number points at the 12, it's o'clock, and the shorthand points to the number. So like for example, this is gonna be, shorthand is at the 1, and 12 is at o'clock. So this is gonna be 1 o'clock. So whenever it points to the 12, the longhand at the 12, it's o'clock. Like here it'd be 3 o'clock. Now when the longhand points at the 6, because this is what you have, when it points at the 6, it's going to be, the shorthand is still at the hour, so it's going to be 3, and 6 means 30. 1, 2, 4, 5. Because watch, you count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it's 3:30 because the shorthand is pointing to 3, long hand's on the 6. If the shorthand was pointing at the 1, then it's going to be 1:30. So you have long, and then long hand points at the 12, it's going to be 1 o'clock. So you start with a long hand and see where it's going to be. Okay? So on here, these are going to be easy. It's going to be o'clocks, and it's going to be 30s. So get those done, and we're going to get more and more difficult as time goes on. I'll explain more about that too. Okay, pull out your next page, which is also going to be your Roman numerals. Now remember, last week we discussed this equals 1, this equals 5, this equals 10. Now I'm going to show you another one. This equals 50. So L means 50. Okay? We also said that certain things like this, IV equals 4, because you have a smaller one in front of a larger one. So you take 1 away from 5, which equals 4. IX would be what? 9. What if I had XL? What would that be? Well, you have a smaller one. You have 10 in front of 50. Which one's smaller, the 10 or the 50? Well, the 10 is smaller. So we're going to take, this is going to be a 1, and this is going to be a 5. This is going to be a 1 and a 9. So we take 1 away from 5, that leaves 4. We take 1 away from 9, that leaves, or 1 away from, sorry, this is 10. 1 away from 10 leaves 9. Now we're going to take 10 away from 50, which give us, of course, 40. Okay? So you got to pay attention. When you're doing Roman numerals, you got to make sure you know the order, which each number equals. So for example, let's say I gave you a big number like this. What you could do is you could go 50, 10, 10, 5, 1, 1. All right, 50, 60, 70, 75, 76, 70, 77. That could be 77. But also, if I give you a number, let's say I give you a number like this. What do you look for immediately? Look, you put under, you go 10, 1, 5. Oh, you have 10 plus 1 and 5. Oh, 1 is smaller than 5, isn't it? So you have to do what? Notice that this, but I would recognize here. I would recognize that's a special symbol. What is that one? That means it's 4. So you have 10 and 4. Does that make sense? So you have 10 plus 4 because that means 4. What if I went this one right here? You guys should know this one by now. This should be easy. Do you recognize any of these numbers in here? Any of these special categories? Yeah, you recognize the IX. So what does IX equal? So I would circle that and write 9, and then here 10 and 10. So you go 10, 20, and 9. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 9 is 29. Right? Roman numerals are very, very simple once you understand them. Okay? And if you look for these special things like these, you can understand them. Okay? Now, also, so let's look at number 2. Look at number 2 on your paper. Number 2 says XLIX. So look at your number. What do you recognize immediately? Right? What do you recognize? You recognize any symbols? Well, look, we have X. We could say that's 10. And then we could go 50. Oh, there's a problem though. This 10 is smaller than 50. So we have to take 10 away from 50. But I noticed that XL somewhere. Where do you see that XL? Look, XL equals what? So let's circle our XL. That's going to be 40. Okay, 41 and 10. Oh my goodness. 1 is smaller than 10. That's not going to work. But do you recognize IX? What is IX? IX equals 9. So this is going to be 9. So you actually have 49. That's pretty easy, right? So recognize these symbols here. If you see IV, it's 4, IX is 9, XL is 10. So this would equal 49. Now what we're going to do, once we get into these and we start understanding them, I'm going to give you a number like this, 65. And I'm going to say, I want you to write that in Roman numerals. Well, how would we write that? Well, what is going to equal 60? What's closer to it? We have 50, so it'd be L, which would be 50. What do we have to add to that to make 60? You add a 10 to make 10, that would be 60. Plus 5, we know that V is 5. So we have 50, 60, 65. So you guys are going to do these later on. We're going to get better and better at these. I'm going to have you guys doing these up into the thousands, like 3,000. Because you know they have letters, so like C equals 100, D equals 500, and M equals 1,000. Yeah, we're going to get into those later on. All right, but let's focus on these right now. All I want you to focus on are these four. I equals 1, V equals 5, X equals 10, L equals 50. IV is 4, IX is 9, and XL is 40. And the reason they're like that is because you have a smaller number in front of a bigger number, right? You see that, how this is 10 and this is 50? So you have to take the 10 away from the 50, which makes it into a 40. And you'll get better as you study. Let's look at number, I'm gonna leave some of the hard ones for you. Let's look at number, shoot, which one was what did I want to do? Let's look at number 11. Number 11, L-I-X. Now, first thing we do, do we just start writing numbers underneath them? No, let's look for one of these things. We have one of those, we have none of those, we have one of these, we have one of these. Do we have any of these combinations? IV, IX, XL? Yes, we do. We have IX, don't we? So let's circle IX. Let's put a number 9 under that. And what does the L stand for? Stands for 50. So you have 50 and 9. So 50 plus 9 equals what? 50, 59. Does that make sense? So in all of these, I want you to look for these groupings, okay? Make sure you identify these, because if you have a smaller one in front of a larger one, you take the smaller one away from the larger one. Now, if you have something, you're never going to have this, but like this, if you have something like this, then you wrote it wrong. But you can't take 2 away from 5. It doesn't work that way. Roman numerals don't work that way, okay? So you'll never see something like that. All right. Now next week, we're going to introduce the C, which is 100, okay? So I want you to do all 15 of these. They're very easy. Get that done today for Monday. All right, boys and girls, we'll see you tomorrow for our next set of things. All right, bye.